Hey guys, and welcome back. If you are new here, hello, my name is Sarah and I like to make YouTube videos. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys this very purpley, blushy Valentine's Day look. I guess we'll just leave it at that. So it is basically just this really cool plum and gold halo eye with some glossy lips. I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing this video, and if you are, then just keep on watching. Alright, so as per usual, I am going to start by prepping my skin, and today I'm going to be using the Hey Honey Good Morning. This is a honey silk facial serum. I actually got this in an Ipsy bag either a month or a couple months ago, and I've been really liking using this underneath my makeup in the mornings. Not only have I heard really great things about putting honey in your sort of skincare things, it's really good for your skin, but also it says that it's a very smooth and glossy appearance on your skin when you use it underneath makeup, and I do find that to be true, so I'm going to be using this today. Okay, so moving on to foundation, I of course will be using the Too Faced Born This Way, and for anyone curious, I am in the lightest shade, which is Snow. And of course for concealer, I will be using my trusty Maybelline Fit Me. Okay, so before I set everything with powder, I'm going to go ahead and take the NYX Wonderstick and do a little bit of quick contouring. Usually with the cream contour, I just do underneath the cheekbones and as well as the sides of the nose, and then I pretty much just use bronzer everywhere else. Alright, so now to set the entire face, I'll be taking the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder, and this one is in the shade Light. Alright, so now to add some color to the face, I'm just going to go ahead and bronze, and I'll be using the Physicians Formula Bronze Boost.
Waiting on somebody to come through and fuck with me. Put in work, make it up for me. No other bitches, they got none of me. Take your time, no need to rush with me. How could you resist what I got to give? How could you resist?
Alright, so now we are moving on to the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and prime my lids with the iSense I Love Stage eyeshadow base, and then I'm going to go on top of that with the same setting powder that I use just to make sure all of the shadows blend perfectly.
Waiting on somebody to come through and fuck with me. Put in work, make it up for me. No other bitches, they got none of me. Take your time, no need to rush with me. How could you resist what I got to give?
Okay, so for the eyeshadow today, I will be using just one palette for the entire look, and that is going to be from BH Cosmetics. This is the Blush Neutrals Eyeshadow and Blush Palette. Alright, so I tried to zoom you guys in a little bit so you could see what I was doing a little bit better. So I'm going to start off by taking just a little fluffy brush like this, and I'm going to go ahead and take the second to last shade in the second row of this palette. It's just sort of a medium brown shade, and it is a matte shade, so it's going to be perfect for the crease. Okay, so today I am going to be doing a halo eye, so I'm going to go ahead and take the NYX shade not only on the outer corners but as well on the inner corners. And I am actually going to be taking, for this particular shade, is one of the blushes, and it is going to be the third blush in the palette. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take a more detailed brush. This is kind of like a pencil brush, and I'm going to go ahead and take the fifth color in the third row of this palette, which is just a very deep plum shade. And for this part, I'm just going to go ahead and apply it to the outer corners as well as the inner corners, but a little bit more concentrated and not go as far in as we did with the previous shade. Alright, so going back with that big fluffy brush that we started with, I'm going to go back into that blush that we used, which is the third blush in the palette, and I'm just going to do a very light sort of blending of the shades, and I'm just going to go over the edges of all the shades that we did and also sort of connect the outer corner to the inner corner just in the crease area. Alright, so now I'm going to take a rather flat little basic eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to go into the gold shade of the palette, which is the third shade in the first row. I'm going to go ahead and take some of that on my brush, spray it with some setting spray because I want it to be very metallic, and apply that to the center of the lid. Alright, so now I'm going to go and take the first blush shade in the palette, which to me is just a very, very light peachy shade. I don't know how well this would show up as a blush personally, so I am going to use it as a eyeshadow. And I'm going to be taking it on a very teeny tiny little brush. I'm going to highlight my brow bone as well as the very, very inner part of my inner corners.
You're always on my mind. I'm at your side.
I know it's not one of the most noticeable things, maybe it doesn't translate very well on camera, but I definitely do think it adds a just little tiny bit extra something, because of course it is very, very close to my skin tone, I guess you could say. So before we move on to mascara, I'm just going to quickly go back in with this little tiny pencil brush, and we're going to go back in with that deep plum shade, which again was the fifth shadow in the third row of the palette, and I'm just going to deepen up the same areas where we already put this shadow in case it happened to be blended away in the process. And I am also going to quickly run that underneath my lower lash line, but not all the way, probably about halfway. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly do some mascara. For those of you who are curious, I am using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. Alright, so we can move on to the rest of the face now. I've zoomed you guys out because we are going to do some blush and some highlight. So for the blush, I am actually going to be taking the blush from the eyeshadow palette that we had used. I'm going to go ahead and take the fourth blush in the palette, which I believe is the only shimmery one. And I'm going to apply that a little bit further back on the cheeks. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the first blush and do a little bit of just like right on the apples.
Always on my mind.
And of course, if you happen to go a little bit too hard in the blush and it looks like this, then we can go ahead and just take the brush that we use for our powder and sort of blend it a little bit more. Alright, so for highlight today, I'm going to be using the Mary Luminizer from the Balm. I haven't used this one in a while, mostly because I've broken it and I have to open it very carefully because it's just completely loose powder in this compact. Okay, so for lips, I'm going to do a little bit of a combo because I just couldn't really come to a conclusion as to what I wanted to do with my lips today, but I think I've got it. So I'm going to start by taking the Maybelline, I think this is like a creamy matte lipstick, and this one is in Daringly Nude. And then I'm going to go over top of that with the Burts Bees Lip Shine, and this one is in the shade Peachy. And for those of you who have never tried these little guys before, this one in particular is like the most intense, delicious smell of peaches ever. I personally have never tried any of the sweet peach stuff from Too Faced, but I imagine it is a little bit like this. Alright, now of course, to lock everything into place, we are going to go ahead and take the Wet n Wild Photofocus setting spray and just lock it in. Alright, so this is the finished look, you guys. I am so happy with how this turned out. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I do apologize if this video was like crazy long. I did want to sort of include my foundation and everything, which I don't normally do, but I did want you guys to see kind of what I do behind the scenes. And I really hope that you enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy it, then please give it a thumbs up. It does mean the world to me. And please leave me some comments down below if it's with suggestions, if you guys want to chat with me. I love hearing from you guys, and I will see you all next week. Bye!
Missing someone.